When Emma Thompson inherited her grandmother's old farmhouse in rural Pennsylvania, she expected peeling wallpaper, creaky floors, and boxes of forgotten junk. But what she found instead was a sealed letter from 1943, a letter that had waited 80 years to be read. And when she finally opened it, it changed everything she thought she knew about her family. It all started on a quiet Sunday afternoon. Emma was cleaning out the attic. You know, the kind of place that smells like old books and cedar. She was boxing up things to donate when she noticed something odd behind a loose floorboard. It was a small tin box, rusted around the edges, with a faded red ribbon tied around it. Inside, she found photographs of a young woman, her grandmother, Margaret, and a man in a soldier's uniform. Underneath them, there was a single envelope, yellowed with age and sealed with wax. On the front were 4 words: "To my forever love." The envelope was never opened. It wasn't addressed. There was no name, no date, no return address, just that one heartbreaking phrase. After debating for hours, Emma decided to open it. The letter was written in neat cursive, the ink slightly faded but still legible. It began, "My dearest Margaret, if you're reading this, it means I didn't make it home." The letter went on to describe a soldier named James, stationed in Italy during World War II. He wrote about how he met Margaret at a local dance in 1942, how she laughed louder than anyone else in the room, and how he promised to marry her after the war. But the last line hit Emma the hardest. "Even if I can't come back, I'll love you through every life after this one." Emma sat there, tears rolling down her face. She had never heard of a James. Her grandmother had married another man years later, her grandfather, Robert, and no one in the family had ever mentioned anything like that. Curious and emotional, Emma began digging through family records, old photographs, and even military archives online. Weeks went by until she finally found a match. Private James W. Carter, U.S. Army, reported missing in action in 1944 near Monte Cassino, Italy. He never made it home. Emma learned that James grew up just 2 towns away from her grandmother. The two must have fallen in love right before he shipped out. And that letter, it had probably been mailed to Margaret, but never reached her before James's death. Somehow it got returned, hidden in the attic for. Emma decided to find James's family. Through an online forum, she located his niece, now in her 70s, living in Ohio. The 2 women met in person. Emma brought the letter, carefully preserved in a frame. Together, they read it aloud for the first time in 80 years. James's niece told Emma that he had always been the romantic one, and that their family had wondered for years if he'd ever been in love before the war. Thanks to that letter, they finally had their answer. Emma placed a copy of the letter and both their photographs in a local museum's World War II memorial exhibit. And every year now, she visits that exhibit on Valentine's Day, not just to honor her grandmother, but to remember the love that survived 8 decades of silence. Some say love stories end when people are gone, but sometimes the story just waits, tucked away in an attic, inside an old tin box, waiting for someone to open it again. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life mysteries and forgotten love stories. And tell me in the comments, would you open a letter that wasn't meant for you?